Hello everyone and welcome back to Bladesong. Okay, so we are back in the game. We have just unlocked our first vendor and we were just attacked last night. Thankfully we got lucky and we managed to fend them off, but still, I don't think we are safe out here. Okay, so we have unlocked our first vendor. At any point during the day, visit vendors to buy resources and other items, so it doesn't cost action points to visit them, thankfully. Okay, Scrap Peddler, what do you have? You make your way through the lost city. The harsh daylight throwing the ruins into stark relief. The sound of your footsteps echoes eerily in the crumbling silence. At last, you reach the Scrap Peddler Square, the rumble-strewn market plaza reclaimed by weeds. The peddler perks up as you approach, his one visible yellow eye widening with excitement at the prospect of a customer. I saved the prettiest trinkets for you, yes? I have some questions for you. Yes? What is your name, peddler? That's right, I'm a peddler. Scrap's the name. Scrap. Okay. What condition are you suffering from? Nothing wrong, my skin just doesn't like me anymore, I think. Okay. So his skin is peeling off, so it is very likely some kind of leprosy. Okay, do you ever go inside Eren Keep? I don't think so. Guards say no. Say I make people sick, but lies. Not contagious, you see? Not even a little bit. Have you seen anything strange in the ruins lately? The walls make songs sometimes, they do. A beautiful seed song for the sleeping. Men with candles sneak out here to call up things from the dark places, but the dark places are not so easy to call, and I could tell them that if they liked. The dark places do the calling. Oh. Okay, so we have some cultists or something. How long have you been scavenging in these ruins? Once I had a shop, a real shop with walls and the floor. Then he gestures at his bandaged face with a gurgling laugh. Now I have a mule. Mule doesn't care about face. Mule supports me through hard times. How long, you ask? 10 years? 17? How long does a mule live? Okay, I don't have any more questions. The peddler nods mindlessly, scratching at his bandage until something underneath dislodges. Ugh. Okay, let's take a look at your wares. So, I could sell him some stuff, not the heirloom, I think. In fact, I don't think I want to sell anything, although 28 coin would be nice, but I think I will buy some steel. Maybe I will keep 40 at me all the time. And can I buy any of this? 100 sword essentials. Modular thinking or twisted steel. I will take a look at the commissions before I decide. We can only buy one of these, so I don't want to be too hasty. Plus we might need to buy some wood or leather, so yeah. The Scrap Peddler dances around excitedly, his bandaged hands fluttering over his collection. The mule retches pitiably. Okay, goodbye for now. You nod curtly to the peddler, eager to be on your way. Tell your friends of me. Tell them I'm not contagious, not at all. Okay, let's take a look at the commissions. So, as I was saying goodbye in the last episode, I did notice that Bennett is still around. Very good. And if we accept his commission, we cannot do anyone else. Let's take a look at May first. A woman approaches your anvil, her face grey with worry and exhaustion. She has a small boy hanging around her ankles. Oh jeez, another one. Sucking his thumb, his hunger-hollowed face making his eyes stand out like dinner plates. You a smith, right? You make swords? I've already lost 2 children on the road here. I can't lose another. I need something to protect with. Oh jeez. Bennett, I think you will have to wait again. I will come back to you in a second. Smith's companion, so that's fine. Okay, so we can make this blade quite easily. What about cork? A smiling man approaches your anvil. He stands out as conspicuously healthy, lacking the thick, thin frame and hollow cheeks of most people in the camp. Oh there, Smith. I'm in need of a good weapon. What do you need it for? I keep the fine folks of the camp safe from thieves. Well, most thieves. Oh, okay. Of course, safety ain't free, gotta eat right. And if some folks don't want to chip in for the greater good, well, trouble seems to find them. Okay. He is going for protection money. He yawns. Nothing too fancy with the sword? No, I will not. Screw him. What about lock-in? Okay, I cannot scroll, unfortunately. Can I make the screen even smaller, maybe? Small, yeah, there we go. Okay, in case the developers are watching this, please introduce a scroll wheel for the dialogues, please. So, a young man paces restlessly near your anvil, his eyes fixed on the horizon. He wears a pack on his back and chews a long stalk of grass. I can't stay here any longer, Smith. Wasting away, begging for scraps, watching people turn into animals. This ain't living. He gestures towards the wasteland stretching beyond the camp. Out there's where the real opportunities are. Old ruins, abandoned settlements, treasures from before the collapse. The crows, they eat well. So he wants to be an adventurer. He will give us Clean Closures Volume 1. That doesn't sound like a crafting book, sounds like more of a lore book or something. Crows? That's what the folks of Eren Keep call them, from what I've heard. Folks who wander the waste, scavenging and doing mercenary work, carving a living out of the chaos. Trust me, kid, surviving out there is even harder than surviving here. Staying here is just slow that anyway, at least this way I control my own fate. Well, unless something else controls your fate. You've been only hearing the tales of those who survive. Most die, hungry and alone, exactly. Better to die free under the open sky than rot away in this miserable camp. At least out there, a man's got a chance to make his own fortune. Well, there's truth in that, but still... Where are you going? Once I have a sword in hand, I will head east to the ruins of Dredgepie Castle. Bound to be some riches there. Won't be sorry to see the back of this wretched place. No, I think I will go for May. I think her needs are a little bit more important. Continue. Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss. Sorry won't keep Tom safe. Only steel can do that. Have you ever used a sword before? No, but I will learn. I've heard stories about what happened in the camp. People taking children, selling them, worse things. I won't let that happen to my Tom. What happened to your other children? I don't want to know, but I do. My eldest boy, bandits put an arrow in him when we were crossing Nettle Bridge. I don't know why, we had nothing to steal. After that, we avoided the roads. We made our way to the deepest parts of the bleak woods, but that was a mistake. There's things in those woods. Something took my daughter, snatched her out of my tent at night. I'd heard her scream, but never saw. She breaks down into sobbing. I'm sorry. What can you afford? I don't have much coin left, but I give you everything I have, whatever it takes. She glances again at her son, her voice breaking slightly. He's only 4 years old. He doesn't understand why his sister and brother aren't with us anymore. I can't. I won't lose him too, not without a fight. Okay, Bennett, you have to wait. At least hope you will wait. I can only hope that we can refuse the payment at the end. Okay, let's see. So one-handed, short sword. Yeah, let's go for it. So once again, length. That will do. I suspect this will need to be a quite fast sword, so I don't think I will make it very long. So that will do. Might as well take care of the hilt right now. So she is asking for 2 pieces from the Black Series Companion, so the basic stuff basically. Let's go for this arming sword hilt or crossguard. Let's make it a bit narrower so it's easier to wield. And let's have this diamond hilt. Ooh. Looks nice. So wait, this one will cost 3 wood. What about this one? 4. Okay, it's a bit cheaper. You know what? Yeah, let's go for this one. As for the pommel, yeah, this one. Okay, so stiffness is okay. Now we just need a bit more mobility. And here we can change the material of some of this stuff. Now, I suspect this will cost leather. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I think regular wood will do just fine. Yeah, that will do. Also, we can change steel, we can change the polish level. Nice. So we can polish the different steel parts of the sword. But no, it's fine. I don't want to make it too flashy. I don't want her to be jumped just for the sword. Okay, blade mode. So the length is okay. I think... You know what, wait, let's make the handle a little bit shorter. Yeah. So it matches the blade length a little bit more. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a narrow point right now. Yeah, that's as far as we can go. Next up, let's make it a bit thinner. Okay, so it is now mobile enough. So that's great. It's fast, it's stiff enough, that's great. But are we going to lose stiffness if I put on the edge? Let's take a look. So cross-section. Use asymmetry features to create single edge blades. Okay, so here we can turn this one into a single edge blade. Let me see. Point. Yes, exactly. So we need a narrow point. How can I make the point go all the way to the top? Maybe we need some extra knowledge to do that. Anyways, cross-section. So only 1/2 of it, like this exactly. Okay, so everything satisfies except for the point. Okay, I will need to experiment a little bit, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. So, if I change the thickness... no, that's not it. Here. I'm not sure. Oh, wait, I think I know. First things first. Do it like this. The cross-section is one-sided, that's fine. On this side, that is correct. Yeah, don't have this. This will do just fine. Right. If I change the width of the blade, but only on this side. So if I try to... no, wait. Change it from that side. Okay, you know what? I think we need something else to make this work, so I will experiment a little bit. For now, let's just turn it into a proper two-bladed weapon. Let's just make it like so. I think that will do. The cross-section will be two-sided, as it should be. Yes, and the thickness will be two-sided as well. Oh, right, and the point. This one should be two-sided. There we go. Okay, so I think we are more or less okay. Just need to make it a bit stiffer and that's it. I think for that one we just need to make it a bit thicker. There we go. Okay, so I think this should qualify. Maybe... you know what, it's fine. Just make it a little bit wider. Yeah, I think this will do. It's not very sharp. Can I add a little bit of extra edge to it? No, not really. Okay, fine. I think this will do. This will satisfy everything, so I think we can call this good enough. And, what do we call this one? I believe I have already done Guardian, I think. Let's go for the bear. Sure. You know, like Mama Bear. I think this will be alright. Yeah. Let's give it to her. Offer to May. She takes the sword with trembling hands, testing its weight. Her grip is uncertain, but her eyes are hard. It is heavier than I expected. She calls softly to her son, who was playing in the dirt nearby. He looks up, his fingers black with mud. Come here, Tom. Stay close to Mama. The boy runs over and clutches her leg. She rests a protective hand on his head, keeping the other on the sword's hilt. Thank you, Smith. I pray I never have to use this, but if I do, well, I think it will do the job. Stay safe out there, keep him close. Aye, that is a damn good blade, if I say so myself. It will see you right. Keep him close. Every moment. Okay then, so we have one single point left. Not much we can do with that. I suppose I will break this one down. Gold. Well, it is a precious metal, so eventually we can make golden stuff for our sword, so this might come in handy later. In fact, silver as well. Right. This should give us at least a little bit of extra leather, so let's go for it. Ooh, 9, not bad. Okay, we're completely out of points. I will obviously end the day. Day's profit 57. Yeah, we had to pay a lot for the steel, I suppose. Anyways, We can stay in the forge, go to the camp, or to the lost city. I think I will try to scavenge once again. You discover the ruins of a bathhouse, its proud columns ensnared by vines, its mosaic floor smashed and the tiles scattered. Yeah, sure, let's take a look. Your footsteps echo strangely. The marble floors are still smooth, though coated in years of grime. You find your way to a private chamber where the empty bed is filled with a tangle of ancient human bones. There's not a scrap of cloth inside, perhaps some final orgy to usher in the end of the world. Something leans between a pair of ribs, a gold locket on chain. As you wrench it free, the skeleton collapses into a heap of bones. We have a gold pendant. Okay, I suppose we might as well go home. For a moment you think you lost your way? Yeah, we have seen this one before. Chev approaches your anvil with rumors to share. Have you met Stacker, the self-appointed sentry who roams around the camp at night, trying to keep order? Oh jeez, what happened to him? Let's take a look. He turned up dead. I suppose it was only a matter of time. I told him. Apparently he tried to challenge a whole gang of thieves who were menacing an old woman. He didn't stand a chance. They took his sword after they cut him too. I was afraid of this, but not much we can do. Okay, we have 8 points once again. Let's go ahead and take a look. So, if we do Bennett, then we can do Owen as well. What about Loken? A young man pays... Alright, the adventurer. Owen, a grizzled man limps to you, scratching at his scarred jaw. I mean, I'm after a weapon. I think I've seen this one before. Wasn't he the first one who... whatever, it's fine. And Thomas. The man who approaches your forge is brooding and silent. His starved face and shaven head lending him a skull-like aspect. When he speaks, his voice is a hollow rasp. A blade. He glares at you. You don't get the impression he's in the mood to answer questions. No, let's do Bennett and then Owen. Yeah. That will leave us with 1 point, but I really want to do this one. He's been waiting for 3 or 4 days already, so better do it now. Plus he will give us one more golden pendant. Okay, so a two-handed mobile longsword. Let's go for it. Let's see. Obviously, this one needs to be quite long because this is a two-handed sword. Okay, that looks long enough. Might as well take care of the hilt now, so we can keep eye on the balance and everything else a bit easier. Let's give it a nice big square cross. Just like that. And as I said, this one needs to be two-handed. Oh. Okay, so we don't need to have the skill to gold plate stuff or silver plate. Good to know, but obviously I will not. Those will be for more interesting commissions. So for now, let's go for a diamond taper, I think. Yeah. So let's start with this one. Right, and then taper it down like so. Yeah, hopefully this will give us enough grip. And then a nice big pommel on the end, but a bit closer in, like so. Yeah, I think this will do for the handle. Yeah, that will do. Okay, now you, the blade. So it needs to be quite mobile, which means it needs to be easy to handle. So first, let's make it thinner. This should do it. Next up, give it a narrow point. Okay. There we go. This will be quite sticky. That's great. What about mobility? So if I make it wider, does that going to give us... No, obviously not. Okay. First, give it a cross section. Okay, so we have 1 point in mobility. Now we need to make it maybe a bit thinner. That's as far as we can go. Okay. Well, in that case, a bit narrower as well. Very, very fine control. I'm holding shift, so we only do very small adjustments. I only want to go as far as we need for that extra point in mobility. There we go. Okay. So, a very narrow, well, basically a claymore. Everything is satisfied. It's extremely unbalanced, unfortunately. But for the mobility, we have to do it like this. At least it's fast and sharp. Okay, what do we name this one? This one should be named Guardian because, you know, parental guardian and all that. Okay, fine, I will name this one Guardian as well. It's not very original, but I think this one fits a bit better. Guardian. The Guardian. Okay, everything is satisfied. It's not very cheap. In fact, we have used up most of our steel already, but not much we can do. Okay, offer to Bennett. Bennett takes the sword with reverent hands, his weathered face lighting up. Clodo wags his tail. I don't know much about swordsmith, but this one feels good in my hand. Well, with that balance, I'm surprised, but whatever you say. He makes a few careful practice swings, tests the weapon's weight and reach while Clodo watches approvingly. If any more vultures circle around my family, they will find more than they bargained for. Between Clodo's teeth and this blade, the Monders can hold their ground. Give my regards to Trian and the children. Hopefully, you will never need to draw it. Be careful out there, Bennett. Yeah, hopefully you will never need to draw it. Sometimes just having a blade on your hip is enough to make the bad swords think twice. But if push comes to shove, I will be ready. Thank you, Smith. Here, take this. I found it in the ruins. He produces a gleaming necklace, clearly valuable. This is too much. I already have a pendant, so I am not really in need of one. Yeah, it's too much. I think the children will appreciate the money that you will get for it. Please, out of everyone in this Forsaken camp, you're one of the only decent people I've met. We have to look out for each other. Well, thank you. If you ever need anything, company, a hot meal, whatever, you know where to find us. Come on, Clodo. Ooh, and we have leveled up. Let's take a look. So we have, well, we can only unlock one thing. Advanced swordmaking. So it will unlock advanced cross-section controls. Whatever that means. Let's go for it. And we have 4 points left. So I think we have established that we might as well do Owen. Sure, he doesn't seem too intimidating, so I think we can do him. Smith's companion, so thankfully he's not asking for anything special. Let's do it. Once again, as usual, first the length. Okay, that will do. Next. Yeah, as usual, take care of the hilt first. Now, this commission requires a hand and a half grip. Place a grip part, then grab the handle at the end to make it longer or shorter. Use one long or two short grip parts to achieve the hand and a half grip. Okay. Let's see, I think first things first, he is asking for one thing from this Smith's Companion book. Well, we have to, doesn't matter, go for this one. Not enough resources, oh geez. I do believe we can get out of this job and go and pay a visit to the peddler, so that's fine. Let me say, leave. Yeah, I think this job is still active, so let's go and pay a visit to the peddler. Hi there. I will buy... we have 138, that's not a lot. Yeah, 10 steel for now. Oh, I could have done this one as well, but you know what, it's fine. I will sell the gold pendant, I suppose. Better hide this well. The gleam of gold attracts jealousy like flies. I don't know, I will sell one of them. Yeah, I don't know if we can maybe break this one down into gold or something. And speaking of, now we have a bit more money. I think I will only buy one of these if the commission is asking for them. And the leather bag. Ooh, can be opened to retrieve whatever is inside. Ooh, for 50. Is this basically a loot box or something? You know what? Let's try. For 50, we can try. Close. Let's go home. Bye-bye. So, if I break... Ooh, it doesn't even require a point. So, let's take a look. That was 70... Oh, okay. That paid off quite nicely. We got lucky, and yes, we can salvage the gold pendant. Okay, then. Anyways, the job is already active, so we don't need to spend any more points on it. So I suppose we can break this one down, just in case we need any more steel. We don't need gold, so yeah. Let's do this one. 17 steel. Okay, so it is a bit of a gamble what we get. This time I think we got lucky. Anyways, let's quickly finish up this job. I think I will go for this handle, strong taper. And I will make it as long as we need it, but not more than that. Basically, the longer we make this one, right now we have to pay 6 wood. But if I make it too long, we have to pay more, and I don't want that. So only make it as long as absolutely necessary. Okay, we need to pay at least 6 no matter what, so that's fine. Also, I didn't mean to drop it. Yeah, 6. That is minimum, so that's fine. 1.5 hand, and I suspect that if I make this one smaller, we might not need to pay as much steel for it. Yeah, there we go. If I make it this small, we only have to pay 15. If it's a default size, we have to pay 17. So yeah, make it as small as possible. In fact, make this one as small as possible too. Yeah, very, very small. And you know what? Make this one as small as possible. We will just make it long, like so, and then extend it. Okay, so this is as long as it can be, so a bit bigger. Okay, 1.5 hand. But the metal is poking through. There we go. And I only need to pay 3 instead of 6. Not bad. Make this one, as I said, as small as possible, and there we go. Okay, you know what? I think it still looks okay. Okay, let's get back to the blade. So, the blade needs to be sharp, and that's about it. And a narrow point. Should be easy. First, pin it down. That will do. Then give it a point. That will do, and then sharpen it. Some abilities like cross-section feature advanced... Okay, let's take a look. So first, once your ability reaches 100%, advanced controls become available. So right now it is 0%. If I hammer out the actual blade, now it's 100%. Now, spine width, edge thickness... Okay, that's not it. Ooh, convexity... Ah, okay, nice. But anyways, first, get back to making it sharper because, well, we need it sharp. So spine, edge thickness. This one needs to be as thin as possible. Good. And that's it. This will do already. I will just quickly make this one convex. So basically, if you take a look at the cross section, instead of being a very straight edge from the top of the blade to the actual tip, it's more a bit curved down. So yeah, I think it looks a bit nicer this way. Okay, we are inside the sword, but as you can see, it curves down like this, not being a straight piece. A bit more interesting. Okay, so now we are starting to unlock more advanced sword making skills. Nice. And I think we can call this one good. We have the required sharpness, very mobile, very speedy, decently balanced, but not very heavy. Yeah, I think this one should do the job. And I will name it... Trusty Arms, sure. He takes the weapon in a practiced grip, his confident stance and well-drilled movement speaks of some military background perhaps. Fair enough, Smith. Hats off to you. Not a bad job. And there we go. We are out of points, so we have to go to bed. I think I will visit... Where do we want to visit? I don't know if we can go to the gate. There is no point. I think I will go to the camp once again. Maybe we can pay a visit to the family again. Let's see. Speak to Chef first. You find Chef sitting outside her tent, gnawing at a chicken bone that's already picked clean. Nice to see you again. I'm just enjoying my dinner. I would offer you some, but I'm still waiting for my sommelier to pair the perfect wine. How did you end up here? I grew up far west here in Kurev. I live in a beautiful port town. On certain mornings, the sea and the sky blended together into one shade of misty blue. It was like looking out into a hazy abyss, with ships suspended in the middle. When the Sundering happened, since then, I've been hopping from settlement to settlement, disaster to disaster. A few years ago, I heard that Eren Keep has survived. No, better than survived, it had thrived. The safest place in the world, surrounded by a magic shield that kept both plagues and monsters at bay. The name sounded familiar, and then I remembered. My dad used to tell me how his fool of a brother had moved to Eren Keep to make his fortune. Not such a fool after all. That's a stroke of luck. What if your uncle is no longer with us? A lot of people have perished since the Sundering. Well, thanks for the chill for thought. I'm hopeful that my uncle has survived. After all, Eren Keep is meant to be safe. In any case, that's how I came to be here. My uncle is the last member of my family left alive. I'm sure he would take me in if only I could get into that damn gate. Ooh, I already forgot the name of her uncle. Ugh. Oh well, tell me about what your life was at Kurev. Do I have to? Dwelling on the good memories is beautiful but painful, like gazing overlong at the sun. I understand. Thank you. What do you know about the magic barrier around Eren Keep? It appeared shortly after the Sundering, right? At the same time as the Masked King took the throne. I don't know much more than that, sorry. What's the latest gossip around the camp? Oh, you know, the usual things. Petty fights and thefts, people die and new people turn up from the waste to replace them. Do you have a plan for getting into Eren Keep? Of course, I got a skilled team assembled with lockpicks and grappling hooks. No, I don't have a plan for getting in. I'm making this up as I go and failing miserably. Okay, let's go ahead and leave her be. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, let's pay a visit to the Monders. Bennett and his wife are nowhere to be seen. Uh-oh. Old Gida sits in her chair, smiling vacantly, while the children stoke the fire and scrub out their iron pot. Clodo the dog trots up, wagging his tail at your approach. The oldest of the children, a boy with twig-thin limbs and a sour face, looks up from his work and glares. What do you want? Where are your parents? Trying to score us some food. The pot of stew didn't last long. Thanks for not taking a bowl, by the way. I know that can't have been easy. You're as hungry as the rest of us, but we really needed that. My old man is too damn generous for his own good. Yeah. But Clodo, the dog pushes into your hand, tail whipping maniacally. I didn't catch your name, kid. Sandrick. I tell you my dad you stopped by. The boy grunts when you bid him farewell. Clodo runs excited circles around you as you leave, then bounds back to resume guarding his family. Let's see. Do we want to risk stealing from a wagon? Or do we want to look around the camp? I suspect stealing from the wagon will require some finesse, which we don't have. We have knowledge, nothing else. Look around the camp. The camp is an appalling spectacle. An ocean of mud and flies with gaunt men and women scraping living amid the filth not far from your tent. Recent rains have swept away the soil on a mass grave, exposing glints of yellow bone. Only the rats are fed well out here. Okay, fine, I will try. I don't think we will succeed, but who knows. You lie in wait in the camp's outskirts. As twilight turns to dusk, a wagon appears on the horizon, its enormous spiked heels churning up a storm of dust in its wake. Black armored guards sit atop the wagon, wielding fierce-looking crossbows. If they spot you, you are likely to end up punched full of holes. But you're in luck. A child runs out in front of the wagon, almost ending up mincemeat in its wheels. Oh, okay, not lucky for him. The wagon pulls to halt as the guards shout at the boy to get out of the way. 35%. Extra food would be nice, so we can get some extra stuff done tomorrow. Well, no pain, no gain. Let's take a look. Failure. Oh, you make a dash for the wagon, but one of the guards spots you. There is no warning. He raises his crossbow and fires. The bolt strikes you squarely in the heart, knocking you out on the ground instantly. You grapple for the moment at your chest, wheezing and spluttering as the strength fades from your arms. Then darkness closes in. Uh-oh. Well, game over. Okay, let's reload. Okay, so are we going to start right from the... yeah, okay. I will quickly go through the same exact thing again, but I will not steal the food. Okay, and now I will reconsider. I will not do this, obviously. Okay, one look at those crossbows is enough to convince you that crime doesn't pay. You slink away, leaving the wagon to trundle towards the outer gate in peace. Let's go home. Okay, once again we start with 8 points. 26 steel, that's not a lot. We do have some money, so we could buy some. Let's take a look at the commissions first. So, Jovan, Andres, Griswold, or Julian. We have 8 points, so we could do Andres and one of these two, or only Jovan. Let's take a look. The man at your anvil has a careworn face and a child clanging. Okay. Once again, I would love to do this one. What about Andres? Yeah, he's just looking for protection. Griswold. A hunched man shuffles towards your anvil, his hand black with dirt. Why do you need a blade? All sorts of scurrilous rumors have been circulating about this humble gravedigger smith. They say I steal from the dead. One man in particular, he thinks I took his wife's ring when I planted her in the earth. Well, I ask you, what use does a dead woman's have for a ring? There's a... okay. There's supposed to be an understanding. I don't dig graves for free, and the dead are the ones who pay. You stole a ring from a dead body. Stole ain't the worst, Smith. I took payment from services rendered. Same with the corpse I returned to the earth. I can't dig for free, man got to pay for his victuals. The dead are dead. I mean, I can kind of understand, but still. What about Julian? A weird-looking man approaches your anvil, his shoulders bowed and his eyes haunted. He's sporting a fresh black eye, so once again, self-protection. I think I will go for Jovan. He is looking to protect his son, so yeah. Oh, sorry, his daughter. Yeah, this one sounds the most honorable, and I am looking for hope in this world, right? Let's go for it. Okay, so once again, length first. That will do. Then needs to be a two-handed sword apparently. For this one I will go for this one and Ooh, we don't have enough wood. I could make this one narrower and longer, but okay, let's do it like that. We only need to have 4 wood. Let's make it as narrow as possible until the steel starts poking through. So something like this. This is only 1 wood, but it needs to be 2-handed. Okay, and now make it long enough for 2-hander. Okay, we need at least 6 wood, no matter what. Oh, 7 in fact. Okay, leave for now. Do we have anything we could break down? A ruined helmet. I don't think this will give us any wood. Well, it doesn't cost us anything to visit, so might as well break this one down. And yeah, only steel. Let's go ahead and pay a visit to the peddler real quick. So we have 0 wood. I believe we need at least 2 more, so just buy 2 more and that's it. We could buy this one as well. Broken cartwheel. For 20, sure. I will buy it and break it down tomorrow. Anyways, let's continue. So we need... wait. Didn't I buy... Oh, we had 4. Okay, fine. Buy 1 more. Okay, there we go. Now we have a 2-handed handle. That's fine. And we need a pommel. Let's make it as cheap as possible. So there we go. And as small as possible. This one as small as possible as well. Save as much as we can on resources. Obviously, we are strapped for stuff all the way out here in the boonies. Okay, so blade mode. First, we need a broad point. And apparently that will do. Now we need to make it very, very sharp. Okay. And speedy as well. That means we need to make it a lot thinner. Okay, speed is fine. Now we need to make it sharp. So cross section. And apparently this will do. Just one more tap and I think we can call this one done. Everything appears to be satisfied. We have the resources, so yeah, I think this will do. I will not name it. Although, it is to protect a child, so you know what? Let's call it the cob. Huh, in fact, I didn't pay attention to the text, but good. Hopefully this will encourage any wolves to fight softer prey. So wolves, cubs, kinda fits. Thank you, Smith. You're welcome. Alright, he gave us a couple of tankards as well, so we could break this down for wood. That's great. Some extra leather. Okay, I think we will not hurt for wood, but we have 23 still. That's fine. We could sell some leather because we are not using leather all that much. But for now, let's go for the next day. And I think I will go for a bit of adventuring in the Lost City. You step cautiously into what used to be an alehouse, its weathered wooden sign still showing a faded image of 2 tankards clashing. The tavern's roof kept the rain out, unlike most of the surrounding buildings. Yeah, let's go. Past scattered chairs and smashed bottles, you make your way to the bar. In a dusty corner, you find a small drum, somehow intact amid the chaos. Other than that, there are no items of any value around here. Small drum, sure. Okay, that's not a lot, but it will give us at least a couple of pieces of leather, I suppose. Okay, well, the recording is at 1 hour at this point, so we might as well say goodbye, but first, let's take a look at the commissions. So we have Griswold again. A hunched man shuffles towards your anvil, his hands black and right the grave digger. I don't like him. And each and every one of these is... we can only make one of them, basically. So, Kark. A smiling man approaches your anvil, he stoots... yeah, this is the... yeah, I don't like him. What about Lokin? Yeah, he is the adventurer, or would-be adventurer. What about Landon? A claw-like hand grabs your arm, belonging to a man, wild beard, and even wilder eyes. I don't have much left, Smith, and they are going to take it. I hear them at night, scampering around my tent. Animals, scum. Why can't they leave me alone? I need a sword. I can't lose what little I have, not again. Okay, so Griswold is the grave robber, Cork is the, well, the protection money guy, Lokin is the would-be adventurer. I don't like sending him out, so let's go ahead and do Landon maybe. Who do you think is trying to steal from you? Everyone in this camp. You can't trust any of them. That's why I need a blade in my hand. Ooh. He might be a bit too paranoid. You don't seem well, exactly. I'm fine. Is the world that's wrong? Make a sword, please. I beg of you. Actually, I'm starting to lean towards Lokin, in fact. I really don't want to give a sword to someone this unstable. Maybe he will sting someone who doesn't want to steal from him, and maybe they will attack them. Okay, Lokin, you're up. Okay, so we have gone through his dialogue before. He is basically trying to go out and be an adventurer, right? Searching beyond the camp, out there, yeah, that's it. Okay, I know there is no talking to him. Let's just go ahead and give him what he wants. He is looking for an alabaster. That's the one we have, right? We need to do this one to make sure he is fully satisfied. So, in here... alabaster, perfect. Okay, so we locked out. Alright. Well, I meant to say goodbye, but you know what? Let's do this one real quick. A short, mobile, sharp, one-handed, alabaster-colored sword. Let's go for it. As usual, start with the length. That will do. Next up. Let's go for the hilt as usual. Take care of that one first so we know the balance and everything of the blade. Oh wait. We need to break some stuff down. First, let's put stuff together and then I will take care of the resources. So, one-handed sword. You can have this one, sure. Yeah, we don't have any wood, but if I make this one as small as possible, something like this, and as long as possible, one-handed, that will do. So instead of paying 4, we only have to pay 2. Then a very small pommel there, make it as small as possible so we don't have to pay a lot of steel. And one of the guards, this one. Sure. In fact, small as possible once again. There we go. Okay, now we can go for a blade and then I will break down some wood to make the resources. Oh, right. And we need something alabaster colored. Yeah, make this one. Ooh. Well, technically speaking, this is not enough. We need 1 full point of this color, and right now, since we have made this one so small, it is only 0.7. If I make this one the same color, 1.2, yeah, that's fine. Okay, the pommel will be the same color. Let's just say I covered it in this leather, it's fine. Okay, so technically we only have to pay 1, that's fine. Let's take care of the blade next. That will do. It is now 3 points mobile, so that's fine. Now we just need to make it... need to give it a cross section. Yeah, that will do. And the point, which needs to be narrow. Okay, so this blade is good to go. In fact, it's quite nicely balanced apparently. At least as far as I know. I don't know if it needs to be 50% or 100% to be perfect. I have no idea. Anyways, I don't think I will put any flourishes on this. It's fine. Okay, leave and break down the broken cartwheel. This one should give us the most wood. 14, lovely. And I suppose small drum, it says leather's torn, wood is cracked. So this one should give us some wood as well. But we have enough leather, so I think I will go for a tankard. 7, more than nothing, I suppose. And 1 silver, ooh, nice. Anyways, quickly finish this one up. Everything appears to be alright. I will give the name of the companion. He is going out on his own. Let's make this one his best friend. Okay, well, good luck to you. He hefts the blade, testing his balance with a few experimental swings. A splendid blade. He sheathes the sword and shoulders his pack, looking out over the camp with his smoke wisps and sullen faces and coughing echoes. Wish me luck. Good luck. Good luck out there, Crow. Try not to get yourself killed on the first day. You're a damn fool. Well, at least, you know, part ways amicably. Good luck out there, Crow. Mark my words, if I strike it rich, I will come back and buy us both passage into Eren Keep. Well, I don't have high hopes, but fingers crossed, right? He walks off towards the camp edge, his new sword swaying at his hip. You watch as the wasteland swallows him in dust. Okay then, level 5. First, let's take a look at the vendor. Sorry, not that one. I want to look at the inventory because we have this leather bag. What's inside? Thankfully this was for free, so whatever is inside will be free for us. So let's take a look. $63, not bad. And we have no points, so we cannot do anything else. Let's take a look at the skills. Now, let's see. Sword part bending. This will make things a lot more interesting. Cooler. I have no idea what this does. Apparently it creates some kind of a notch in the middle. Okay. Curved blades. Well, sounds nice. And engraver. Unlocks engraving of blade and sword parts. Increases your finesse by 1. Ooh. Don't mind if I do. Haha. Oh yeah. I mean, nothing else gives us stat points. Yeah. Okay, engraver it is. Nice. And I think I will say goodbye now and take care of the end of day tasks in the next episode. For now, all that is left to say is that thank you for watching. If you like the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment, and never mind. What is... uh-oh. As you bury your tools for the night, never can be too careful, you hear a heart-piercing scream. Oh. This must be the monster that woman was talking about. I don't remember her name. Investigate. You find the camp in chaos. Figures run back and forth, knocking down tents, wailing, stumbling. The sun has just slipped below the horizon and darkness begins to fall. As you search for the cause of the panic, there's a sickening thud. A corpse has fallen from the sky and landed on top your bonfire, quenching it instantly. Oh, look to the sky. A winged shadow circles above, blotting out emerging stars. It lets loose a shriek that turns your bowels to water. Identify the threat 50%. Fingers crossed. Success. Judging by his screaming cry, this is a Volgut, I guess. A nocturnal predator and among the worst monsters that the war unleashed on the world. They sleep for months, then wake in a feeding frenzy. Their subsequent feasts can depopulate an entire village. The whole camp is in terrible danger. You also know that they hunt by following sound and movement. If you stay quiet and still, you should be safe. Some around the camp are drawing swords and trying to organize a defense. You recognize your recently forged blades among those weaving in the air. The creature's first dive is repelled by blades jabbing at its siding limbs, but it's too fast, too massive. It retreats to the air and then swoops down somewhere, targeting other defenseless prey. Watch helplessly. It descends on a fleeing woman, its jagged forelimbs plugging up the doomed soul. The beast ascends. A few minutes later, the victim carcass splatters to the ground. Encourage people to remain still and silent. You rush around the camp, grabbing survivors and shaking them free of terror's grip. You direct them to quieten down and act as statues. If they run or scream, it means their death. But the camp is vast and you can't protect everyone. The slaughter continues unabated. At last, as more and more refugees flee for the cover of the lost city ruins, the beasts race too close to Eren Keep. The invisible barrier crackles, suddenly alive with pale blue energy. Fierce tendrils of power skitter in all directions like cracks spreading through glass. And the beast shrieks in agony. Chastened, it swoops away, finally abandoning its banquet. Terrible silence falls, broken by the occasional sob. At long last, it's over. I have the survivors, obviously. You wander the camp, reuniting... okay, we got a journal entry. You wander the camp, reuniting separated families and comforting the bereaved. Finally, once you are so exhausted, you can barely stand, you stumble back to your tent and fall into a dreamless slumber. Okay, I didn't expect this. Oof. The morning air is crisp, the sun shines on devastation, survivors wander the camp, some clearing away the bodies, others drifting aimlessly. Survey the aftermath. Tattered tents, extinguished fires, bloodless corpses scatter the camp like autumn leaves. As you are surveying the carnage, a woman in a patchwork shawl hurries towards you, her face pinched and gaunt. She is dragging a small girl by the hand. I don't know if you remember us, Smith, but you kept me and my little Idina safe last night. Without you, I don't know what we would have done. She presses a few coins in your palm. I don't have much, but it's all I can give. Okay, so it's not the woman I gave the sword to. Maybe someone I tried to tell them to stay still. Glad I could help. I can't accept this. We have enough money, it's fine. With some difficulty, you manage to convince the woman that you don't want to take her pitiful small savings. Luck be with you, Smith. Thank you so much again. As she hobbles away, her young child stumbling along beside her, you can't help but feel a surge of pride. I am very, very tired, but at least I'm inspired. Do I need to make a choice? Let's look for the Monders. You stop short when you arrive at their tent. The iron pot has been knocked over, the fire has burnt itself out, the tent itself is a tattered wreck, soaked in blood and gore. The beast ripped the tent apart, and then ripped apart those within. There's more than one body, but they are too badly mangled to tell apart. A torn remnant of old Gida's patterned dress flutters in the breeze. Clotho is nowhere to be seen. You turn away. Apparently the sword was not much help. Let's look for Shev. You find her standing outside her tent, clutching her forearm, eyes fixed on the middle distance where the creature had vanished. She doesn't notice your presence. It's gone, don't worry. She jumps startled and then offers you one smile. I hope you're right. The Warlord only feeds once every few months. It won't be back tonight. You're telling me this thing might be coming back in a couple of months? That's not as comforting as you seem to think. I better get into Eren Keep soon. We are sitting ducks out here, prey waiting to be picked off. Are you alright? Lucky to be alive, I guess. She drops her gaze, finally from the sky. Did you lose anyone you knew? Yes, the Monder family were killed. Oh, how terrible. I mean, I didn't know them, but that's awful. She falls silent for a respectful moment, then sighs. Thanks for checking in on me. There's a lot of hurt people out there. I'm going to see if I can help. As you make your way back to your tent, you spy a growing crowd forming around the outer gate. Watch from afar. A mob has formed at the gate, shouting at the guards. It's a volatile situation, born of grief and rage and fear. Survivors of the attack voice a common complaint. The guards did nothing to stop the massacre. But really, their complaint is more basic. They are still stranded outside the city with no reprieve in sight. You suspect the guards will happily retreat to their stone parapets, but the wagons are rolling in, the gates need to be opened. Might as well see what happens. Guards fan out of the gate, trying to keep the shouting refugees at bay with their shields. Back, get back. But the usual tactics won't work today. One by one the refugees draw swords, sharp blades glitter in the morning light, and you recognize your own handiwork. Drop the weapons or... The rest of the watchman's words are lost in a gurgle as someone thrusts a blade through his throat. The mob surges. The guards retreat, shouting for reinforcements, while the wagon is toppled onto its side and set aflame. Looters pull crates from the burning wreckage, yelling in triumph. This is not going to end well. You beat a hasty retreat as more and more guards pour out of the gate, swords drawn, ready to enact bloody vengeance on any applicant foolish enough to have lingered. Okay, well, let's take a look. We have 6 points. Yes, we are very exhausted, unfortunately. At least we are inspired for 2 days. Better than nothing, I suppose. And we cannot do Oliver. We don't have enough for Alessandra. We can do Joshan and Jacobs. Or Zoe, but that's just a repair. Okay, I think I will say goodbye now. And we have enough money to buy some resources, so that's fine. We can buy stuff for Alessandra if we decide to, but we will check on that in the next episode. For now, all that is left to say is that thank you for watching. If you like the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want. If you would like to support me a little bit more, you can do so by clicking the join button and becoming a channel member, which will give you an early and ad-free access to these videos. Once again, thank you for watching and thank you very much for your support. I will see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.